Hi everyone, this is Jack Young from Stanford University. Today on behalf of my advisors, Monica Lam and James Landay, I'm here to present DoThisHere, multi-modal interaction to improve cross-application tasks on mobile devices. To understand this issue better, we first look at how people use multiple apps on their smartphones. So, prior work in 2011 have shown that 31.8% of people's usage session involved 2 or more apps. This number may be even higher today. We conducted a mechanical Turk study with 75 people, asking them about what kind of cross-app tasks they did on their smartphones and what apps are involved. We find 8 common categories of tasks that are usually involved in people's common cross-app task sessions. The 4 most common ones are review, which means checking reviews of an item within a shopping app in a separate review app. Password, which means insert password or 2-factor authorization code from one app into another app. Compare means comparing prices or reviews between 2 shopping or review apps. And finally, balance, which means checking bank balance before making any financial transactions. However, current generation mobile OSs offer limited support for those actions. As compared to DoThisHere, existing interactions are based only on voice or GUI interactions. For example, for simple information, a user can query information from a virtual assistant, remember the result, and type it back to the original app, which requires extra effort from the user. The accuracy of the speech recognition is also a limiting factor for this interaction. For example, in this case, it is really hard for the user to pronounce and for the phone to recognize the name of the restaurant correctly. For complex information, a user can use the task switcher to switch between recent apps, but they still have to go back and forth between apps. To solve this, we would like to introduce DoThisHere, including query, which allows user to get a piece of information from another app. For example, in this case, the user tries to insert a 2-factor authorization code from the Duo app to this website. Insert my Duo code here. Do, which allows user to evoke another app using the information on screen. For example, in this case, the user tries to find a Netflix TV show in IMDb for review. Find this show on IMDb. And finally, keep, which allows user to keep a piece of information on screen for reference like a post-it note while working in another app. For example, in this case, the user tries to compare prices between Amazon and Walmart by clipping the pricing information on screen. Keep this. We built DoThisHere in a way that is portable to other platforms. First, we have 3 features: query, do, and keep. We built those features on top of 5 modules. And those 5 modules are built on top of technology that are already offered by existing mobile platforms. For example, our voice interface and app integration is built on top of our in-house virtual assistant element. But if Google or Apple would like to adopt this in a system level, they can easily utilize their voice interface technology and existing app integration to make it happen. Since we're already using the existing app integration of the virtual assistant, this also means that app developers don't need to make a new app to support DoThisHere. This mitigates the cold start problem. We evaluate how well this technique works on the most common cross-app tasks we collected from mTurk. We find that DoThisHere can support 95% of the cross-app tasks that are not well supported on current-gen mobile OS. To further evaluate the effectiveness of our technique, we recruited 12 participants to use DoThisHere to solve common cross-app tasks and compared it with the baseline based on Android native task switcher. We find that DoThisHere can reduce users' cognitive load in multiple perspectives, such as mental demand and effort. From the user's subjective feedback, we learned that 8 out of the 12 users prefer using DoThisHere for all tasks. Another 3 prefer using DoThisHere for some tasks. So with that, we think every smartphone in the future should be equipped with something like DoThisHere to help us interact with our smartphone naturally and productively. For any questions, feel free to ask me in the following session or reach out to me via email.